Hi guys and welcome back to Birmingham Fan TV. This is your Derby match review show sponsored by Ball Sports. Thank you very much for our sponsors today. Don't forget guys, before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like on the video. It helps us massively, it helps to show that you're enjoying the content, and leave a comment down below if you want to see anything introduced into the show at all that you think is going to be more beneficial when we're going over the games. Don't forget to comment obviously down below your thoughts on the game. There was lots of talking points that we are going to go over in this video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell when obviously you'll be notified when we do upload. So obviously it's handy obviously with our inconsistent scheduling. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick apology. Sorry that there was no Derby preview, guys. I know a few of you asked as to obviously why there was no Derby preview.
We're both really sick.
Yeah, we're not great at the minute. So obviously Friday and Thursday we were really bad, so we decided not to do one. It wasn't going to be beneficial. There will be a Wigan preview out. That'll either be out Monday morning, which I think it will be.
Yeah.
So don't forget to look out for that one. So in we go with this one.
Yep.
Plenty of talking points. Not a dull one today. And I think we start with the starting lineup from yesterday. 3 changes made by Pep Quartet into this one. A change of system. Not only 3 changes, but a change of system. He went to a 4-4-2. He went with 2 up front. Very, very positive.
Yeah.
Going into it. 3 changes. Magoma in. Alvaro in. And Gary Gardner in. Davis, Jude Bellingham and Marabti out. David Davis was out because his wife apparently had given birth, and then obviously he wanted to change the system slightly to take Jude out the limelight a little bit, give him a little bit of a breather. Understandable. Your thoughts on the system, and what was it that did he go with the right team? Was the personnel right? Because we had plenty of options on the bench as well. Could you have done anything differently from the start at all?
I think it was the right move. If you had catched our predicted lineups that we did create, even though we were ill, on the Friday when we put them out, I did put a 4-4-2. However, I didn't put Gardner in. I had Villalba on the right and Crowley in the middle. So my lineup was basically what was put out, apart from a few change in personnel. So I thought it was the right decision, obviously. But no, I think it was the right decision to have 2 strikers on the pitch, and we had to take the game to Derby. Because even without their players that have been a bit naughty this week, they are very good at going forward. They're clinical. So we needed to be the same, and almost as if our attack was the best form of defence. And that's the team that Pep put out.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point. I think that we needed to match Derby, again, man for man. I think that they line up in a slightly different way to us.
Yeah.
But ultimately, yeah, like you say, even without the missing players, they are an incredibly strong side. They can take out Richard Keogh. They bring in Curtis Davis. They can take out
Tom Lawrence.
They can bring in Waghorn Marriott. They've got all of these players on the bench that are in their depth of squad, and this is the depth of squad that is needed to compete in the Championship.
Yeah.
I still think Blues are 2 or 3 bodies away from having that depth. I think that I looked at the bench yesterday, much better. I think that you had a bench consisting of Marabti, who's effective, Jude, who's very effective, you've got Villalba, very, very good. Odin Bailey, I think, is still yet to get a full grasp on, but when he comes into it eventually, he's going to blow the league away, I think, once he gets his feet under the table. So plenty of options, and even on the bench we've got Clark Salter and all of that. So yeah, I thought the team was good. I thought that 4-4-2, looking at it, was very balanced. It had depth. The only thing that I consistently get annoyed about it is Crowley on the right.
Yeah.
But however, we'll get into that a little bit later on.
Yeah.
He definitely proved us wrong with that one. But he certainly did. So we talk about the starting lineups getting it right. He can't justify the start that we make, though. He cannot legislate for that. That is not the manager's fault. That is down to individual errors again, not just from one, but from several players on the pitch there. To concede within 90 seconds, 2 minutes is just... Your game plan almost goes out the window.
Yeah, it was terrible, let's be honest. It was just completely shocking. Pep can't be to blame for a lot of the mistakes yesterday because they were all individual mistakes, which accumulated to become one larger mistake. And I think, obviously, Gary Gardner wasn't completely switched on, which you need to be against Derby, especially from the get-go, because they can get you straight away.
They're very good on the counter.
Completely, and he switched off, and after that, every player sort of seemed to switch off, and it just was poor. I was worried it was going to set the tone for the game, but it didn't.
No, I think that obviously you've got the lapse pass from Gardner. It was a half pass.
Yeah.
Sold his man short. Then obviously Collins pulled out to try and get in.
Yeah.
He's nicked it away from Pedersen. Sorry, he's nicked it away from Pedersen. The cross comes in. The back four are all over the place. I think Roberts had stepped up to try and intercept in the middle. Dean's in no man's land because he's trying to chase the guy making the run. Cross comes in. Collins out of position, wrong-footed, and Camp's also wrong-footed. Could Cam do better with that one?
I haven't seen it back yet.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be able to fully give my opinion on that. However, at the time, it just looked like it went past him, and if I felt like he could have done more at the time.
I think he was wrong-footed. I think he could have done slightly better.
He's a goalie.
But at the same time, he's probably shifted his body weight to the left. The ball's gone to the right. It's an incredibly hard one to get down. It's rolled across the floor. It's a difficult one. I still think he could have done better. But in saying that, goalkeeper, these things happen. I think that it shouldn't have got to that point. But
no, it shouldn't have. But I do think from that point in time, he could have done better than he did.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 25 minutes though. After for the next 25 minutes of the duration of the game, I thought we were on top. I thought we were the better team. I thought that the goal actually potentially woke us up. And we could and probably should have gone on to score in that 25 minutes. We had plenty of the ball. We pushed, we harried. And, I've seen a lot of Derby fans saying that this was the first time in many a year that Blues have come to Pride Park and actually played football, and we've actually gone and we've almost impressed them.
Yeah.
I can't help but agree. I think the 25-minute spell that we had after was good. It was good tempo. We played good football. We moved the ball quickly, and I just think we lacked a little bit of a finishing touch in the final third.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing that we've been talking about the last few games. Really, is when we have good spells, we have really good spells. I was very, very, very impressed yesterday with how we played in spells, and I think that's definitely something that we can capitalise on and improve on. I agree. We were probably the better side. However, Derby just had that in them to go ahead. But yeah, I really think that we did a lot better yesterday than what we had done previously.
Yeah, I think that the Preston game was flat. First half, we were atrocious. Like we said, we didn't get going for 70 minutes, and the message from the camp was to get going. We can't just leave it to the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We've got to get going from the start.
Yeah. Well,
we conceded in the first image, but then the first half, I thought we were okay.
Yeah.
We died off a bit towards the half-time whistle. Derby kind of got a bit more of a foothold in the game, but they didn't really trouble us at all.
No.
They looked okay. They looked comfortable after the half an hour mark. But yeah, I think we certainly stepped it up. Duke had a few chances. There was a few, aerial duels in the box in which Keller Roos dropped a few clangers.
Yeah.
And kind of got away with a few. But yeah, we looked menacing. We looked like, and I said to you, I think I turned to you after the first goal. I said, "We're going to score. We're definitely going to score." I said, I can't tell you if we're going to win or not because it looked unpredictable. But at 1-0, I said we're 100% scoring today. There's no way we're coming away and not scoring in this game.
Yeah.
So we go into half time. The second goal is a killer. It's an absolute killer. No pressure on. We play the ball. Dean plays a sideways ball to Roberts, who opens his body up to go out to the right-hand side and slips. Someone needs to get that man a new pair of boots.
Yeah.
He keeps slipping. He's done it a few times. And I think for Roberts, it's the only thing that lets him down is his slipping. Because yesterday, I thought he was okay again.
I think he's a very, very, very good player. He's our best centre-half by a country mile.
Yeah.
But yeah, his boots let him down.
It's those white
massively.
boots, those tippy-tappy boots.
He needs some proper studs in there to keep him on his feet.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, it was a game of individual errors. You can't blame someone for slipping over in a way because
you can be frustrated.
But because you can't predict that.
No.
And it happens. It's live, but it's annoying. But then again, he should be being covered by his other man. So
well, I was going to get onto that. obviously he slips.
Yeah.
The guy runs through. I think it's Patterson who takes the ball from him, or some. I couldn't tell you exactly. But he runs through. Roberts actually recovers, comes round, gets goal side of him. The guy has to turn around, and at that point we've got Sunjic following the runner, half tracking him.
Yeah.
But he's a bit behind him. My biggest issue was with Harley Dean. Now Harley Dean's got back as well. He's in line with Roberts.
Blood boiling.
Yeah, he's in line with Roberts, and the runner comes past Roberts. So what Dean as a captain should be saying is he should be going, you stay with the runner, you stay with that guy, you stay with the guy with the ball, and I'll track the runner in behind. He didn't. Harley Dean stepped up to make the tackle. You don't need two of you to tackle him.
Yeah.
He's played the ball in behind. They've scored. I think Dean's on the brink of needing to be dropped, I think.
I would have dropped him a few games ago.
I know you've been saying a few times now, and I think he's being questioned on social media now. Let us know, guys, what you think. Would you drop Harley Dean for the next game? I think that maybe taking him out a little bit, giving him a breather, letting him regroup his thoughts might be the best thing. I think it's man management, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think...
I'm very
we know what he can be like. We know he can be a top defender.
Yeah.
We know he can be... But for me, he's not showing it this season.
Look, I'm very cutthroat. I would take a few players out of the team yesterday and replace them with others, and I'll get onto that a bit later. But Harley Dean has been a lot of the times our worst player all season. And it's not just down to individual errors, it's his lack of vision during the game, it's his lack of consistency, and he was one of our greatest players last season. But this season he's been terrible. And yesterday it was just crying out for him to be a leader, and he's normally so good at seeing those runs and those visions, and he's a ball playing defender, so he's normally very good at all that.
Yeah.
But he just seems to have switched off a bit, and
I think on the ball with his passing,
he's very
he
good.
was much better yesterday.
Yeah.
Much better. He found some nice diagonal balls out to Pedersen and out to Colin. He found the fullbacks well. He travelled forward with the ball quite well through the middle of the park. Sunjic stepped in and played as a centre half when Dean came out with the ball. I liked that. But his defensive errors at the minute are costing us. They're not just slips, and we're saying, well, it almost cost us. They are costing us now.
Roberts recovered from that slip. That's
I think
the
he
difference.
did, yeah.
Roberts recovered. Dean let us down for that.
And Roberts still needs to take some blame because he did slip.
Yeah.
But, and it's disappointing. We find ourselves 2-0 down from two errors that really shouldn't happen. And, all of a sudden we're chasing a mountain. We do climb that mountain though.
Yeah.
We get the goal back. First goal. Great delivery from Crowley. We've finally got someone. I think I said to you at the Preston game, why is Crowley not taking set pieces? We were watching Jude Bellingham take them. We were watching Villalba take them. I'm thinking,
what the hell?
Every set piece this season has hit either the first man or has been incredibly poor. It's not Jude's fault. And Villalba, I think, is still adapting, but we'll get onto that in a bit. I think Crowley's technique at times is excellent. He can whip a ball. And finally, yesterday, we had so many dangerous deliveries put into the box because of Dan Crowley. And I think that it showed. He whips a great ball into it's sort of inside the 6-yard box. Gardner gets his head on it, so it was Gardner's goal. And it was a lovely little flick from Gardner, and he gets the goal. I thought he had a quiet game yesterday. Other than the slip, he had a quiet game. It wasn't.
Gardner?
Yeah, I don't think he played badly, but he wasn't in it as much as I'd like to see him. I'd still start him on Tuesday night, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. We'll get into that in the preview, sorry, so I'm not going to give that one away. But I thought that, some saying that Davis should be back in straight away, some saying not. Leave us your comments down below. Would you bring David Davis back in, or would you keep Gary Gardner in the team for Tuesday night? But I thought he had a quiet game.
I think if David Davis had made that mistake, he would have been absolutely hounded, and people would be calling for his head. But because it's Gary Gardner, people almost have forgiven him for it. I take it from a stance of, you're a professional footballer, you should not be making that mistake in the first 90 seconds of a game. And it really wound me up, and I didn't really see much of him for the rest of the game. I think the goal could have almost saved him a little bit from all the aggro, and he redeemed himself slightly. But every other time he's come on the pitch this season, he hasn't been fantastic. And I just think that Sunjic outshined Gardner yesterday by a country mile.
Absolutely excellent.
But you see Sunjic and Davis together, and they work really well, and they almost work off each other, and they're very balanced, and they almost look like they're the same player.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Gardner just looked like a kid like a year 7 trying to chase after a year 11. That's my view on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying this because I like David Davis, because I like Gary Gardner, don't get me wrong, but I'm being very cutthroat. I'm trying not to be sentimental about this.
On his day, Gardner is a better player than Davis.
Completely.
On his day.
On his day.
But he hasn't.
When's that day?
Yeah, he hasn't shown it this season.
Yeah.
He showed it last season in large spells, died off a bit towards the end of the season. But I've been a bit underwhelmed by his start to the season. But I'm hoping he can pick it up. He hasn't really been in the team.
Yeah.
So hopefully I think give him the benefit of the doubt. Start him Tuesday night. If he doesn't play well, you've got Friday night's game with Middlesbrough. Bring Davis back in.
Completely.
We'll see how that one goes. But we're back in the game, and I think we were the momentum just absolutely swung our way. I think that we took a grip on the game. We really took it to Derby. Not that we hadn't been already, but the second goal, what a goal!
His shots, massive.
Yeah. I mean, his shot was unstoppable. I mean, Killer Roos had made 1 or 2 okay saves in the game, but there's no way he's picking that one out.
I said to you, it was after their second goal. We need almost a Xavi Alonso to come in and do one of those 25-yard shots.
And I said to Emily, specifically said to Emily, this is gospel truth, no word of a lie. I said to Emily, you are not going to see Ivan Sunjic hit a shot like Xavi Alonso and pull us back into the game from 25 yards. I said that in the first half.
Yeah.
I need to start saying these things more often, because whenever I tweet Blues are crap, they end up, because they're losing 1-0, they end up going and win on 2-1 or something like that, or 2-0 or whatever.
I said Sunjic could do it. I said he's that sort of Xavi Alonso player.
Eerie.
I think that he will now come into his own, and I almost think that... Did you watch that video that the Blues page did with the FIFA?
Yeah.
With Ivan Sunjic, with shooting. His score was really poor. FIFA, boost it now. Blooming hell. He's a cracking shot.
He hasn't really taken a shot as he so far.
But why not? It was
it.
great, and please do it more often, because you actually get it on target, and like Craig, Keith, we've got someone in the midfield that can actually score.
I think that was a cracking goal. Goal of the season contender already. Let us know,
completely.
guys. I think it certainly is. And obviously at that point, Derby are rocking. Curtis Davis come out and said in the interview after he couldn't believe the walls were crumbling for them. He couldn't believe how the momentum had changed. We get the penalty. I've watched it back. Some Derby fans said it looked like a good Stonewall penalty. It's a Stonewall. Jimenez manages to get a lucky break in behind.
Yeah.
He looked like he was about to shoot.
Yeah.
Bielik brings him down, which I've got to say, Bielik was already on a yellow card at that tackle.
So it should have been a red.
And it's a blatant penalty. If he's not on a yellow card, he gets booked for that tackle.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he's not been sent off for that. But that's my opinion. So it's a Stonewall penalty, and obviously the critics are now out for our penalty taker, who, at the time I knew it was going to be Duke, because you look at the round of the team and you're thinking, it's probably going to be Duke, isn't it? Because he's your out-and-out striker, he's your goal scorer. But his record's terrible in front of goal. 3 out of 4 penalty misses now for Blues. I think it's time that we look at our options and see who... I don't think it was a terrible penalty, but it wasn't great.
No, I'll be completely honest, and everyone knows that I love Luka Šuković. He's not a penalty taker.
No.
He's not. And when I saw him go up to take that penalty, bad idea. Give it to one of the midfield. Give it to Gary Gardner. Give it to Dan Crowley. Give it to someone that's a bit more aggressive behind the ball.
Alvaro had a good penalty record for his last team.
Yeah, but my thing with that is it's a completely different league. The standards are completely different. Yeah, by all means, give him a go in a game where it's probably not going to mean everything. But I think we should have let a very consistent penalty taker take that shot yesterday. Alvaro, completely get it. Maybe he should have.
Yeah.
But that's not his record in the Championship. It's not like he's been playing in the Prem and has gone to done it. So, I don't know. For me, Gary Gardner should have taken it.
No, I agree.
But, yeah. Duke wasn't the right man, and I knew that from the off.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then obviously that gives Derby away into the game. And the third goal, I've watched it back. People struggling to understand how that come about. I think that Blues didn't track back how they should have. Derby, like we said at the start, can counter-attack excellently.
Yeah.
The ball comes out, it's a hoofed, I think it was a throw-in, long throw from Roberts. The ball comes out, they hoof the ball back into the air.
Yeah.
So they put it up. It's a 2-on-1 situation with Blues. They've got Collan and Sunjic back. Jack Marriott's up front for Derby. And for me, Sunjic has got to do better. Sunjic was very, very weak in the 50-50 with Marriott. Loses out. The ball's bouncing around. Collan, it pings off him. He doesn't really make solid contact to get rid of it. Bounces to a Derby player, and at that point, Marriott's hooked it over the top. And they're 4-on-2. And for me, Sunjic needed to do better with that one. I've watched it back. He's got to be doing better. I think that's why he was so annoyed, because he knows that he should have just put that one out of play. Just put anything behind it. I think, was he already on a booking? I was going to say, if he's not on a booking, you take the foul and you get booked for it.
I don't think so.
He may have been, he may not have been, but let us know, obviously. I think that at that point there was about 10-15 seconds before the ball bounced.
Yeah,
the ball bounced, and then the ball over the top.
Yeah.
Blues should have been back by that point. They should have been back. They should have been Roberts, Dean. Dean should have been storming back.
Yeah, that's what frustrates me about Harley Dean at the moment, is that he's the captain and he should be visualising things like that. Otherwise, what's the whole point in him being a captain? How is he supposed to be a leader if he can't see things like that?
Yeah.
This is not, I hate Harley Dean, this is that I know how good he is, and it annoys me that he's not the same this season.
Yeah.
But it was just all a bit of a mishap, and it was just a bit weird watching it, because it's almost like we were frozen, and we were almost too confident that we were going to get the ball back. You can never be confident in games against teams like Derby, who are so good going forward, and that was our mistake, I think.
Overconfidence. In
the end yesterday, with that goal, overconfidence in our abilities. No, never ever. Once you're comfortable, that's it. You know you've lost.
I think it's a fair point. Maybe we've gone into a lapse of concentration. He brought the substitutions on. He made a few interesting changes. Put Vialba out on the left for Mags. Okay, Mags not back to full fitness yet, so was understandably withdrawn.
Can I just say though, Jack McGowan was class yesterday.
We will put our ratings up on the bottom of the screen across this now. Jack McGowan was excellent yesterday. Much better.
Good.
Yeah, definitely needs to start again Tuesday night as long as he's fit and okay. Not too impressed with Vialba at the minute. I think he's got a lot to learn. Alvaro's definitely settled in quicker, and obviously Sunjic was already a physical player, so they've both settled in a bit better. And Crowley's already done the English league, so he knows it. We need Vialba to start, finding his feet in this league. I think that he's a player, if we can get him fit and firing properly, in the right system, in the right way, he's going to be unplayable. And I think that, for me, an ideal front three is going to be Crowley, Magoma, Vialba.
Oh, yeah.
An ideal front three. Magoma out on the right, Vialba out on the left, cutting onto his right. Crowley pulling the strings in the middle. But I said it to you on Friday night, we need another striker. We are crying out for a Dwight Gale type striker, another Shea. We need one of those back to play in front of.
We might as well get Shea back the way he's doing at the moment.
No, he'll be fine. He'll do all right at Southampton. But more interestingly enough, he put Jude Bellingham in central midfield, and I thought he did excellently. I thought he controlled the game when he came on. I think he looked composed, good. Your thoughts on that?
I don't think we need to talk about Jude anymore, if I'm honest, because he's a great player no matter where he plays, even if it's not the right position for him, he's just class.
Yeah.
I'd rather touch on Vialba quickly.
Yeah.
Poor yesterday.
I think
he comes on when he first started the season for us. He was great. I thought, we've got somebody here. It's like Crowley. They're gonna really play off each other. He comes on. He's almost like we haven't got a player on the pitch. Very quiet. Not really getting involved too much. Cannot take a corner for life. And that really winds me up. I just wish. I think it might be a confidence thing, because obviously he got injured and came back and he hasn't been starting, and I think he needs to get his confidence back, because the first First game we saw him in, he was sick. But ever since then, he's just not really got at it. But yeah, Jude, class player. Don't need to talk about him. We all know he's a legend already. He'll go down in Blues history as a legend if he doesn't get sold to Liverpool, which would be a bad mistake in January.
Yeah, but you can only hold off the punters for so long.
I think Jude needs to be a clever man about it. If he goes to Liverpool, he won't get played or get sent out on loan. He might as well stay where he's happy, can grow, develop, get first team football consistently.
Maybe.
But yeah, no. Why is he going to listen to me?
But I think, overall, encouraging signs.
Definitely.
Massive work to do though. It's such a 50-50 game yesterday because you take so many positives going forward. We could have scored 4 or 5 if I'm completely honest, and me, I'm the biggest pessimist on the planet. 4 or 5, but defensively we could have conceded 4 or 5.
Yeah.
The balance of the squad in transitioning from defence to attack, we can't seem to get it right at the minute.
No.
The rhythm, we can't seem, at times we can't defend, but then we look good going forward. We've seen it in several games. And then when we're solid at the back and we look organised, we just can't go forward. I think we saw it at times under Monk. I think we saw it at times where at times we were so solid in the banks of 4 and the 2, we just looked too rigid and we couldn't go forward at times.
I think the way we played yesterday was nearly up to standard as when we were very good against Monk in spells.
But without the defensive qualities.
But without, Monk is a great manager, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Yesterday's result for Sheffield Wednesday against Borough. What the hell? But
Borough are a very, very, very poor team at the minute.
They are now, very.
I think Seth Woodgate's on his last legs already now.
Well, he jinxed himself when he went to Real Madrid, so I don't trust that man in football for my life. But I think it shows that Pep is learning very quickly on the job. He's getting things more right as the games go on. And that's why it's frustrating for me to see all these Pep out things online.
I think it's a results business though, and fans want to see wins.
Fans want to see wins.
And so do the board, unfortunately.
Yeah, but how is it going to... This is going to really wind me up. How is it going to help when we keep sacking people all the time? At least with Pep, if he's now building foundations, we are getting better as the games go on. It's not going to happen overnight.
So like I say, Tuesday night and Friday this week, running into the international break, 2 big games, massive for Pep, I think. He needs at least 4 points from these.
I think so.
In my opinion. He needs 4. He needs a win and a draw. Otherwise, the board are going to start getting very, very, very twitchy with him. And I saw signs yesterday that I liked, so I'm not going to give my verdict on Pep out or Pep in. But I liked what I saw yesterday. I think we're lacking 1 or 2 key components, especially up front. We look a bit so-so. I think that I love the 2 up front yesterday, but Alvaro and Duke too similar. Duke at the minute looks isolated at times. He looks lost without Shea.
I'm going to write an article about Pep, my opinions on Pep, so I'll leave that from this video and I'll put that out later on in the week. But
I think that just about wraps it up. If you haven't already, go and check out our articles from our latest contributor, Charlie Lucas. He has got some excellent stuff out at the minute. He gave his player ratings yesterday and his match reaction, so don't forget to go and check those out. He's writing several articles a week now for you guys because we wanted to step up our written pieces for you guys to go and check those out. And there will be some written pieces from Jack, Jacob and Emily this week. So don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to follow us, you'll find us and the articles. And that just about wraps it up. Leave your comments down below. You leave your player ratings, your man of the match. Social media had it yesterday, and Ivan Sunjic was your man of the match. So congratulations to Ivan on that one. But yeah, don't forget to check out the Wigan preview. That one will be out on Monday morning. This one should be out Sunday afternoon. So don't forget to go and check that out. Busy week ahead. You'll probably get your Wigan preview review on Wednesday, Thursday, and you will get your Borough preview on a similar day. It's so busy. We don't ever have the time to make these videos. So stick with us, guys. Put the notification bell on if you haven't already, so you won't miss any of those, because I can't promise you what day, but I'll give you a rough estimate. Go and follow us on social media so you can get involved with all of the match day interactions. And that just about sums it up for me. Emily, thank you so much for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you.
You have no choice. I have to drag you in.
Yes.
But thank you so much, guys. We keep building, and we go on to Tuesday night's game against Wigan. Keep right on.
Right on.